Okay, all the nonsense on the cell phone out. Okay, let's begin with the coding. We close this and I begin right on top. As you can see, this is what I dimmed. All my locks, my movement. This is the movement dimensions. The combo box font list, this is this one here. There are a few of them. Is this part, then it is this part which you found in the form load section, and in the draw item of the combo box, that is now this combo box. You will find this part over here, but everything is available within this link. Maybe I must make it a little bit larger so that you guys can see better. So it's FWrite.com, and that is the link you have to go to. I can make it even a little bit larger so that you can see the whole tutti. So freeze your screen and type it in and go to that, because YouTube don't allow me to use certain characters here. You have to do it on your own. Okay. Then my RichTextBox line information I placed over here. I like all my subroutines as close to the beginning as possible. There is one almost in the middle, but okay. From this, you get this top post text. This is this guy you don't see over here. Nice, eh? Anyway, your position, where you start, your get line character, and of course your okay. Then everywhere you will see I put this inside down that code below. My bold, if it is true, show me the bold. If the italic is true, show me it. Underline, etc., etc. The font. But if the lock is on, don't show me. Then, of course, here I make use of the save settings, but in a file form, so that I can, if needed, to move the program to a laptop or another computer. All my settings is in place. This is just a few, because it's just the beginning of the program. In the future there will be more, which will be saved over here. And this is just the sizes and items and whatever there. And then, okay, that is that one there. Then the next one is font larger and smaller. Now, the font larger and smaller begin at 147 is over here. I start using this using F as a system drawing font system, because it's just a lot easier to set it. There you set the size, just a +2. You don't need anything else, because it's already done for you. There's large and here smaller. And then if you go to the color set, as you can see, it's at 312. We can move down here. Here you can see it's only using F. Doesn't matter if it's underline or bold or regular, whatever it is, it's only using F. It's just a lot easier. 312 shows us that is all the colors. Just to show you, there's approximately 60 of them in this list, because number 1 is not there and some of the others are not there. So I will say it's about 60 of them inside this list, and you can make it more. I didn't get a maximum so far. So when we are at 312, we get my how to set the back color. I use the sender, I use the back color, and voila, it's done. No fancy stuff over there. So when we go down to send font size obtain 365, yeah, it's easy as what? I still using the F. Very easy. Yeah, I put in, you have to make it a single. And text. Well, in some cases the value work, but not in this case. So you have to change it to single. And that's the best and the easiest way I can found. So, still using F. And then of course, we do the send keys. The send keys work exactly the same as Visual Basic 6 and even Studio 2022. So there they are, and it's very easy to do this. You want to obtain, let's show you quickly over here, that is where that fonts are. When you want to do RTX subclass system, blah blah blah, type conversions, send key class, you just type in send keys, and it will tell you exactly what you need to know, which keys is which keys. There they are, just like in the old language. Everything is over here. You just type in send keys. It's the same as you already seen over here. I always put it over somewhere so that we can see what we're doing. There's the conversion. If you're not 100% sure, how did I get today, and you don't know how okay, let's just click over here. There's a font size and the examples and blah blah. So it's actually very straightforward. Back to my program. If we go to the next one, it's a split container. Now the split container has a little bit of a problem. It don't allow you to change the height of the panel inside. In this case, I wanted to change this panel, the height of it, or this panel. Let me show you something. When you run the program and you enlarge your program. In this case, you will see it stay the same because I don't want it to grow. You can change it where you want to. As you can see, I still have other things in values too, but I don't want it to do it. It's the same with this one. You can make it enlarge it or make it smaller, but if you don't set this, let's kill this so you can see what happened. Now it's already enlarged. When you make it smaller, come on. When you make it smaller, hello. What will happen? What will happen when I make it smaller? Come on. That panels also reduce its sizes. Become larger, become smaller. I don't want that to happen. I want it to stay the same. And that is where this is coming in. You split the distance. The moment you say I want to change the height of the panel, then That panel is panel 1, as you can see over here. It's panel 1. So the moment you change the panel size, let's do this. Let's go back quickly. We will say it's split container 1 panel 1. Okay. Split container 1 panel 1 dot height equals 45, just for in case. Okay. Now the moment you run, what will happen? It say the splitter panel height cannot be set explicitly. You use the splitter distance. So that is why I use it like that, just for in case someone else say, but there must be another way, because this should have been the best way or easiest way to do this, and not keeping that nonsense, because that height is 95, but you have to play around with this, because that height that splitter is measured from the bottom. Stupid, but anyway, okay. So let's go quickly back here. The justification is just the same as always. They say it's alignment. I call it justification because that is how we were taught from early. You know, early we talk about 1989. Okay, so it's just working the same. If you know the shortcut keys is LER. Good. So the next one is the bullet, the activation and the deactivation. Where are we? 543. Okay, this is the section bullet. When you go into the help file, you will see there's some other stuff you had to type in, and I found out that's nonsense. You can bypass all that. You can just continue like this. Okay, this is the easiest one. Then indentation, just the next line. Hanging is a very strange word. Hanging. Okay. This guy does not work at all. I try everything. I even download some coding wherever, and it doesn't work. Maybe it will work in 2022, I don't know. It just don't work. So what I'm doing is I use the select indenting, as you can see on top, this selection indent, and I use it even for the hanging indentation, as I shown you earlier in this part here. Come on. So if you want that guy to be indented, let's move it over there, and we say okay, make it 10, and this must be hanged from that guy. You can make it 20. No matter how you do it, it will work there, even if you whatever. So it works fine in such a way. Back to the code. That is the only thing I know that work, or which I can get it right. If you have another way, good for you. Okay, the uppercases, you know, it's just exactly the same as the old ones. And this one is for when you make a word, a name, or you just want for some other reason, let's say the beginning of a sentence, you want that word to start with a capital letter. Then your superscript and your subscripts. It's easy enough to understand, but if you don't do this, if you don't make it regular before you swap between sub and super, your font can grow or even become smaller. In this case it became smaller. I decided on a -2 from the original font size. It works best for me so far. And also the example use a difference of 10 and -10. That's a bit big changes. Then your character standing, okay, let's just make it 10 so you guys can see, and a -10 over here. So when you have that 7 and you want that one to be a superscript, look at that 7. Look at that 7. It's vicious to have a 7 that size or a 8 that size. It's instead of okay, it won't make okay, this is a minus 8 and -7, so it won't change over there. But if we change it quickly back to 5 and -5, you will see what I mean. Now it's more inside the line. Otherwise you have all this strange let's say phenomenon. It just looked better over there than over here. It's not much space, but for me it's space. And then the example also use a larger number. I think it's about 5. Why, I don't know. Okay, the same font applies in the other one. In the example, this size doesn't come into play. So now look at this. Okay, still make it small so you can understand what I'm talking about. Look at that sizes. Man, it's massive. But okay, that is that one. So let's make it that one over there, and also it won't become bold. You can see the size changes. Is not so very heavy, but I prefer it over there than over down here. And if you take this one over here, you make it another 7 and you put it up, you can see what I mean. Mine is bold, this one is not bold, and it's the same size as the font. Just imagine you have a font this size and you use this guy and you say, man, make it up there. You don't see any difference. It will look the same. So yes, there are certain things I do differently. You have to play and play and play until you get your system which you desire to do. So let's take the 5 again and replace it again. There's 5. No difference at all. It's just minus over there. If You use it in the subscript, it's over there. And let's say we use that one over there. Then you can see where we're going to. Yes, so let's continue on with the text, the coding, the indentation, and how to convert, and keep script regular, as you can see, and apply a certain font. Somewhere I already show you inside the program 612. It's over here. That is how I do the lock and the unlocking system. And then of course move a control across or on the screen already shown. This is the main one. Here I mouse up and mouse down. Mouse down or somewhere, I don't know. I don't see it here, but I know it's true because it's working. So I make use of the location. It's also the same thing if you have a form or let's say a borderless form and you want to move the form across the screen. You will use exactly the same thing, except that the it's not your control name anymore. Now it becomes me.location. The rest stay exactly the same, no difference over there. So that is how I do it. And then, as you know, we can go and look here and you will find it over here. This is the control you're moving around. The enlargement of a control or the form is not built in here yet because I don't have a need for it yet. What this can become a lot. In this case it is a spell checker, not really a spell checker. It's like working like WhatsApp. When you start typing, it will search the closest word it can find in the dictionary or in your thesaurus or whatever you want to call it. So that is what I'm busy building over here. And then I also make use of the flow panel. Let me just close this, otherwise you won't see it. I make use of this flow layout panel, so we can, one word will be longer than the other one will be shorter than the other one, and then your flow panel will do it for you accordingly. And that will be okay. Let me just, sorry man. Okay, so just go over there, and that is where you get this flow panel from. This one is done. Flow layout panel. So if I, let's say, for instance, this is not labeled anymore, that is what it is, then it will change everything up and down. That is the nice thing about the flow layout panel. Okay guys, a little bit inside information about how I done it. When there's something new coming, I will show you guys that too.